Everyone. I feel honored to welcome all of you to our online hybrid class. I'm super excited to have all of you here with us today. And before I proceed, let me introduce myself. I'm Teacher Sri Priya from SJKT Permatang Tinggi, and I will be your moderator today. I have a few ground rules for you to follow. Are you ready? Number one, be prepared with your notebook and stationaries as you will be jotting down a lot of notes throughout the lesson. Trust me, you will need one. Rule number two, be nice in the live chat and do not post unnecessary emojis or chats as it might distract the online class. Rule number three, last but not least, do not forget to register your attendance once the attendance link is provided. It's as simple as that. Now, I would like to introduce our presenter for today's online class, Teacher PRABITRA MUNUSAMY. Teacher Prabi, as she is fondly referred by her pupils, is an experienced English language teacher, and she is currently attached to SJKT LADANG JURU. Today, she will share her expertise in simple past tense and simple present tense, and she will be conducting an online class. I will be meeting you all again soon. So, till then, happy learning. Over to you, Teacher Pravitra.
Thank you to our moderator, Ms. Sri Priya. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're doing well there. I'm teacher PRABITRA MUNUSAMY from SJKT LADANG JURU. Would like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude to our Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri, the Penang Headmasters Associations, Cisco Sendirian Berhad for their continuous technical assistance, the coordinators Mr. Maran and Mr. Prabhu, and my heartfelt gratitude to my beloved headmistress, Mrs. Kogilambal, for her continuous encouragement, and my lovely colleagues for their support and guidance. All right, children, without delaying, we will be looking into a grammar topic today. We are going to learn simple present tense and simple past tense. Are you ready, children? Okay. Let's start our lesson for the day. Dear children, let's see the learning objectives of our lesson today. We are going to learn how to recognize simple present tense and the simple past tense. Teacher is going to teach you how to use the simple present tense and past tense correctly. This is to avoid common mistakes that many children make with it. Are you ready, children? Okay, let's learn how to use the simple present tense. Well, let's see the remember box here. The first column here contains of the subject. He, she, and it is the singular subject followed by the present verb. The present verb must contain the S for the verb. For an example, he plays, she eats, it moves, or he works. So it refers to the singular subject. For the verb to have for the present tense, it will be has for the singular subject, whereas for the verb to do in the present will be does for the singular subject too. Okay, children, let us move to the plural subject. I, you, we, and they are the plural subject. For the plural subject, we can see very clearly here, the present verb does not have an S. For an example, I play, you eat, we move, they work. Whereas, for the verb to have for the present form, for the plural subject, it will be have. Dear children, for the verb to do for the present tense will be do. Are you clear? The most important keyword for you to find a present tense sentence are the time indicators. The time indicators must be in the present form to show it is a present tense sentence. In present form, it will be every day, every Sunday, every morning, every evening, or every weekend. Okay, children, we are going to use this remember box for the exercises we are going to do in the next coming up slides. Okay, children, now let us see how do we write simple present tense sentences. As we have learned in the remember box just now, you just take a singular or a plural subject. The singular or a plural subject followed by the present verb. And to make it a complete sentence, you have to add an object to the verb and followed by the time indicator in the present. For an example, he shows a singular subject. For the singular subject, the verb in present need to be added an S. So, he plays volleyball. And you have to add the time indicator in present to show whether it is a present tense, a future tense, or a past tense. Okay, children? Rishi and Vijay are in the plural subject. So, automatically, the present verb will be without an S. Eat. Rishi and Vijay eat sandwiches, followed by the time indicator in present. The next one will be I. I goes under the plural subject. So, I go without an S too. I go to work by car, plus with the time indicator in present. Okay, children, let's see the complete sentences now. He, the singular subject, followed by the present verb, followed by the object and the time indicator. He plays volleyball every Sunday. Rishi and Vijay eat sandwiches for breakfast every morning. I go to school by bus every day. Okay, children, this is the way for you to write the simple present tense sentences. Okay, children, let us see. When do you use simple present tense? Well, when I say I drink tea every morning. You know that I do the action regularly. It is important to remember that we do not use the past form for the present tense. And right now for the continuous tense, or the future form for the future tense. So, you know, I drink tea every morning refers to a routine. I drink tea on Sunday, on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So you can see very clearly that it repeats. So this is called habitual actions. So this sentence shows us the habits and routine. Okay, children, let us see some other sentences that are repeatedly and done regularly. Mike visits his parents every weekend. Every weekend here shows it's a routine. Next, Emma has dinner at 8:30 p.m. every morning. Okay, children, when we talk about habit or routines, we normally use this type of expressions. The word every, for an example, is very commonly used in sentences. The word every are used as every morning, every afternoon, every day, every week, every month, and every year. And the next one, you can also use the prepositions like on or in. For an example, Mike visits his parents on weekends. Dennis has a break in winter. And there are expressions like once a week, twice a month, once a year, twice a year. So we can use these type of expressions to show habit and routines too. For an example, we visit the dentist twice a year for a checkup. Are you clear, children? Okay. Now, I'm pretty sure that whatever I've explained to you just now, and you can remember it well. Just a short exercise for you to see where you stand. Dear children, read the 6 questions well and try to get the answers. Okay. Shall we check the answers together? For the first sentence here, I read or reads storybooks every day. I in the sentence show a plural subject. So for a plural subject, we know that the present verb does not have an S. So the answer will be read. Well done, children. I can see many of you answered correctly here. Okay, for the second question, the boys play or plays football every evening. The boys here refers to the plural subject. So, the present verb should be without an S. The boys play football every evening. For the third question, we. The we in this sentence also shows a plural subject. So for the plural subject, we do not use a verb with an S. So the answer is we like to play chess every weekend. Mrs. Rani drinks tea every morning. Mrs. Rani is a singular subject. For a singular subject, we have to add an S to the verb. So the answer is drinks. The next one, Ramli study or studies on his notes every day. Ramli is a singular subject, so it should be followed by the present verb with an S. Ramli studies on his notes every day. The last one, she teaches English twice a week. The answer is teaches because it is a singular subject, she. Okay. Bravo to all the children. Okay, shall we go to our next slide here? Children, before we go to the next slide, did you notice something on the exercise just now? We added S to some verbs. But to the verb teach, we didn't just add S. We added ES. And to study, we took out the Y and added IES. Why did we do that? Can you all guess? Okay, children, because there are some spelling rules on adding S to a verb. Okay, let's talk about those now. For most verbs, we just add an S. So verbs like love, run, work, we just add an S at the end of the verb. Example, love, loves, run, runs, work, works. To some verbs, we have to add ES. Verbs like pass, wish, search, fix, we have to add ES. This is because if you notice, the sounds are similar. So, it's easier to pronounce them if you add an ES to these words. So, pass becomes passes. Wish becomes wishes. Search as searches. And fix as fixes. And how about the two words here, go and do? And if a verb ends with O and has a consonant before it, like G, ND, we have to add NES, like go, goes, do, does. Are you clear, children? Okay. Now, for the verbs ending in Y, we just add S to some verbs like buy, play, or enjoy. It's because the verbs end in a vowel plus Y. What is a vowel, children? A, E, I, O, U. Can you see the letters in red? So the vowel U and Y becomes buys. Okay, play as plays. Enjoy as enjoys. For the consonant plus Y, we have to remove the Y and add IES. For an example, the consonants are in the green letters L, D, and R. So, we have to remove the Y from the word fly. So, it becomes flies. Study as studies and try as tries. Okay, children? These are some extra information for you to jot down. Any letter that is not a vowel is called a consonant. In English language, there are 26 letters, 5 vowels as A, E, I, O, U, and 21 consonants. Okay, children? Okay, I'm sure you can remember all this. Let us see some general statements today. Okay, as you can see on the screen, my brother drives a car to work. Okay, we come back to the remember box. Go back to the remember box just now. Try to recall the remember box and you have to see my brother is the singular subject here followed by the verb with an S. Next, I live in an apartment. Okay, this is a general statement, so we do not need a time frame to state in the statement. Mrs. Rita works as a teacher. Right? Okay, children. Now, I think all of you have understood some of the general statements, some of the expressions, and some of the words using with S, ES, and also some of the present forms. How do you write a simple present tense? Okay, children. Now, let us do some exercise here to understand the concept. Are you ready? All right, let's start. Osman and his friends dash football every Saturday. Okay. Dear children, when you come across this type of question in your examination, please bear in mind that you wouldn't know whether it is a present form or a past form. So, for you to identify the present form of the sentence or whether it is in the past form, you have to underline some keywords. Okay? Now, let's see the first question here. First of all, you have to read through the question and answers carefully. Next, remember the box in the previous slides. Okay? For the singular subject, we have to add an S and followed by the present verb followed by the time indicator here. Okay. All right. First of all, you have to read the question and the answers. Remember the box and underline the keywords. For this question, the keyword is Osman and his friends. Osman and his friends shows a plural subject. And another keyword for this sentence is the time frame. Every Saturday. So when you see the plural form of the subject and the time indicator shows every Saturday in a sentence, you know that it is a simple present tense. All right, children. Let's discuss the answer together. For A, refer to the box. Since it's a plural subject, the answer is wrong. For B, it's a past tense. Played is a past tense. It's not related to the question. For the answer C, playing, it's ending with ing. It shows a continuous tense. So, it's also not related to the question. And the last answer is play. So, go back to the box again. Refer whether you are going to tick the correct answer here. It's a plural subject. So, the following present verb does not contain an S. Okay, children? Now, well done to you. For some of you have answered correctly. I think most of you answered correctly. Bravo, bravo to you. Next. The second question. Mr. Kumar dash us mathematics twice a week. These are the answers. All right. Well, I believe you can remember the formula for the present tense. Mr. Kumar is a singular subject. So, for a singular subject, what must you do? And the next keyword that you have to underline for the question is the time frame, twice a week. So, when you see twice a week, you know that this question is in the present form. So, Mr. Kumar, go to A. Confirm it is not the answer because Mr. Kumar is a singular subject and teach does not have an S. Thought, it is in present form. It's not related to the question as well. And teaching is in continuous tense. It is not related to the question as well. So, the answer is teachers. Right, children? Very good. I think most of you got all correct. Okay, children. For some children who have not registered your attendance, please register yourself to the link given on the screen. All right? Please don't forget to register yourself. Okay, now let's go to the next slide. I dash storybooks and magazines every day. Okay, these are the answers. Okay, now. For this question, there are some common mistakes that pupils used to do. For an example, when they see the word I, they think that I comes under the singular subject. So, what they do? They will either put the answer as A. Right? Okay. For B, they will be still puzzled. They might not know whether they are going to choose A or B. For C, automatically you know it is wrong because reading is a continuous tense, whereas for reader is an noun. Right? Okay. Now let's see the answer. I reads or read. Go back to your remember box here. I comes under the plural subject. So, the present verb does not have an S. So, you know the answer will be read. Well done, children. Okay, now let's go to the fourth question. The children dash their sports attire every Tuesday. Okay. As what I've told you in the previous slides, you have to underline the keywords first. The children shows a plural subject. And every Tuesday indicates that this sentence is in the present form. Next, the children wears, is it correct? No, because the children is in the present form, whereas the answer for A has an S. So, the answer is wrong. For B, it's wearing. ing shows continuous tense. It is wrong too. For C, okay, children, I would like to remind you something here. Please don't rush to put the answer immediately. Please go through all the answers before answering the question. So let's see D. Worn is a past tense. It is not related to the sentence here because every Tuesday shows present form. So the answer will be wear. The children wear their sports attire every Tuesday. Okay, children. Well done. Well done to you. I think most of you got the correct answers, and I strongly believe you can answer this type of questions in future. Well done to you. All right. Now, we have seen the present sentences, the present tenses. So let's go to the simple past tense. Are you ready, children? Okay, let's start. Have a look at this remember box here. Actually, it's similar to the box we learned just now for the present form. Right? Now, just to make you simple, for the past tense, the present verb changes. So we don't need to add an S, ES, IES, or remove Y, and so forth. Right? So remember, children, what we have learned in the present form is totally different. In the present form, you have to add an S for the singular subject and the root word for the plural subject. Whereas for the past tense, you don't have to add an S. You just have to change the words or add D, ED, or IED. Right? So for the past tense, the verb to have will be had. For the verb to do will be did. And the time indicator for the past is last week, last Sunday, last month, last weekend, yesterday, or last night. Right? Are you clear? So children, let us see how does the simple past tense is formed. Right? Now, by adding D to the verb ending with an E. For an example, bake becomes baked, dance, danced, like, liked, love, loved, smile, smiled, tie, tied. Alright? These are the words ending with E. So, whatever words that end with an E, you have to add D to form a present tense. Sorry, past tense. Are you clear, children? Please bear in mind past tense. Secondly, by adding ed to the verb that ends with a consonant. Remember what is consonant? Teacher have taught you just now. Consonant are letters that exceptional from A, E, I, O, U. Right? So, you can see the consonant letters in orange. So, clean becomes cleaned. So, whatever word that ends with a consonant, you have to add an ed to the verb. It's very, very simple. When you remember the consonant here, you can automatically plus an ed to the word given. Clean, cleaned. Climb, climbed. Jump, jumped. Play, played. Watch, watched. Okay? Now, let's go to the next slide. Verbs that ends with y. You have to drop the y and add ied to the word. An example, carry becomes carried. You have to drop the y and the word becomes carried. Cry, drop the y and it becomes cried. Dry, drop the y and it becomes dried. Fry, drop the y and it becomes fried. Hurry, drop the y and it becomes hurry. So whatever words that ends with y will be added with ied to form the past tense. Okay, children? Next, these are the verbs which are partly changed. Okay, let's see what are the verbs that partly changed. Run becomes ran. Drive becomes drove. Drink as drank. Send as sent. And please bear in mind, children, your pronunciation is very important in the past form. All right? So, these are the partly changed verbs. For the verbs that are totally changed, by changing the whole verb, it is called irregular verbs. Okay. Now, for buy, bought. For blow, blew. For catch, caught. For draw, drew. For eat, ate. And for write as wrote. So these are the past form of the past tense. Right? So children, let's go to the next slide. These are the verbs without any change. These verbs never change. Example, cut, cut, spread, spread, cause, caused, shut as shut, and put remains as put. These are the verbs that never change. All right. Children, when you come across a question in your examination and you are doubt whether it is a present or past, these are the keywords for you to identify in the past tense. The answers will end with D, ED, IED, and the sentence will have had or did. These are some of the things for you to remember and identify the past form of the sentence. All right, children. Let us see now. How are we going to write a simple past tense sentence? As we have learned how to write a present tense sentence, now we are going to learn how are we going to write the past form. Alright, you have to take any subject which is singular or plural followed by the past verb. The verbs which I've taught you just now, remember, add D, add IED, add, remove the Y, and so on. Right? So then you have to add an object to the past verb followed by the time indicators in the past. Okay, children? Now, for the past form, you have to remember to use a past tense verb and the time indicators in the past. You don't have to refer to the subject whether it is in the singular or plural. You just have to concentrate on the past verb. Okay? I bought a house. Plus with the time indicator in the past. Sheila and Rina played netball plus with the time indicator in the past. The baby slept soundly followed by the time indicator, the past. The boy ran towards the bus followed by the time indicator in the bus. Alright, now these are the complete sentences for you to review. I bought a house last week. Please bear in mind these two things, past tense and the time frame in the past. Sheila and Rina played netball last Saturday. The baby slept soundly yesterday. The boy ran towards the bus just now. So you're very sure that when you have last week in the sentence, you know that you have to use a past tense. All right, children? Dear children, I hope you understand the simple past tense. Now, let's try a few questions. Are you ready? Let's start. The boy dashed up the tree to pluck the mangoes just now. Right? Now, these are the answers given to you. Remember what I've told you in the previous slides. Read the question and answers carefully. Remember the box we have learned. Underline the keyword for the sentence. That is the time indicator which shows the past form of the sentence. Right? So children, let's discuss the answer together. For A, why do you think the answer is wrong? It is because the boy here is a singular subject, but it got nothing to do for the past tense. sentence. Right? And you know that this verb is in the present form. Then climbed. Some children maybe they are still doubt about the answer. And as I told you, please read through all the answers carefully before you tick the correct answer. Right? Climbing is not acceptable because climbing is in the continuous tense. And as for climb, it is in the present tense. So, you're very clear that the answer is climbed. And another thing that you can be very clear here, as I've told you just now, for the past verb, we have to add D, ed, the word changes partly or as a whole word. Alright? Now, well done kids. I can see many of you with correct answers. Wow, it's really great. I'm happy to see the answers because I can see that you followed my lesson well. Alright? For the next question, Miss Lim ate us some porridge for dinner last night. These are the possible answers. Okay, children, try to answer the questions. First of all, read the questions and answers carefully. Remember the box we have learned. Underline the keywords last night, which shows past form of the sentence. And then let's try the answer together. For the first one, some of the children would answer serves. Why? Because when they say Miss Lim, they will automatically think that it is in the present form. That is why I'm emphasizing here for you to underline last night. Alright? And served. You're not sure of the answer? Okay, let's see for C. Serving, you know it's in the continuous tense and surely it does not relate to your question. And serve is in the present tense. So children, you have two options here, whether serves or served. And the sentence shows last night. So automatically you know that last night is in the past tense. So the answer is served. Okay? Now refer to the box again whether you have answered correctly. Then move to the next question. Alright children, they to the new neighborhood last week. Moves, move, moving, moved. Alright. First, you have to underline the keyword last week. Now, let's go to the answer. Moves. You know that it's in the present form, so the answer is wrong. Move. Some children will answer move because sometimes they forget that, they still remember that they in the plural subject, so they will try to answer move. Okay? But always bear in mind, as what teacher told you, the time frame is very, very important. Next, moving. You know moving is in the continuous tense and it's not related to the question given. And now you have two options. Either move or moved. Okay, go back to the question and the remember box. You know last week is a past form. And the answer will be moved. Dear children, please bear in mind, when you answer this type of questions, the time indicators are very important for you. And let's say you don't have the time indicators in the question given. You can always remember how teacher have taught you to form the past tense. So go for the answers. Okay? Your keywords most probably will be in your answers too. All right? All right, children. I think you are smart enough to identify the present or past tenses correctly by now. If you have followed my lesson well, let's see how many of you could answer this correctly. All right? Rashina goes to work every day. Is it a present or a past tense? I can see some of you answered correctly here. Past tense, very good, well done. She drinks coffee every morning. It is also in the present tense here. Next, the teacher instructed the prefect to clear the table just now. The first thing I've told you, you have to go for the time frame here just now. And you know the verb used here is in the past form. So the sentence will be a past tense. Her father sent her to school yesterday. Yesterday shows the past form of the sentence. So the answer is past tense. He is a hardworking and an honest boy. What would the answer be? Present or past? As I've told you just now, I've given you some general statements, correct? In the present slides. All right, so this is a present tense. My sister swept the floor just now. Just now indicates past form of the sentence. So the answer is past tense. Okay, children? Well, I strongly believe all of you understand what you have learned today. And this topic will be very helpful for you in your comprehension paper, section A, as well as for your writing. All right, children. I can see many of you actively followed my lesson well. Thank you. Well done to all of you.
My heartfelt thanks to Teacher Prabi for her clear explanation and interesting lesson. I'm sure her eye-catching slides, notes, and drilling exercises will be helpful, as I believe most of you are preparing for your final exams. This online class is a good revision platform for you, and I wish you all the best. Before I end the session, I would like to remind again on the attendance link. Please register your attendance for today's online class. There will be no online class on this coming Thursday since it's a public holiday. So the next online class will be on next Tuesday, and it will be a Bahasa Melayu hybrid online class from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Lastly, don't forget to click like and subscribe to our MGB SJKTPP channel. Please do support us, and I thank you for that. Till we meet again, happy learning.